Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back in the UK and I finally caught up with the Arsenal game last night. And that was the first game I've missed in, I cannot tell you. I don't actually know. I was flying. I couldn't watch it. And when I landed, there was about 20 minutes left. And obviously I saw we were winning 1-0. It was horrible. I really hated that. You know, it's probably been, I want to say at least 10 years, maybe more, where I haven't been able to at least watch the game. There's been times where I haven't been able to make the video after, especially since doing Operation Arsenal for so many seasons now. But this is the first time I've genuinely not seen the game in its full entirety, and I'm doing a review. So basically, I have watched the extended highlights. I have gone on Arsenal Reddit. I've been reading on Twitter, or X, as it's now called, which I'm never going to call it. And I think I've got, you know, some good things that I want to talk about. I've got some reasoning behind my thoughts, and I think I'm in a good place now where I can talk about it. So 1-0, thanks to a penalty, we came away with 3 points. Let's talk about the lineup. Straight away, most people would have been saying the same thing. Where is Gabriel? Why are we not starting our left centre-back? Should I put my light on? Let's see if this makes it a bit better. Doesn't really make much of a difference in the middle of summer. Gabriel not starting again. It is strange, isn't it? There are links with a move to Saudi, but then I'm reading it's never going to happen in a million years. Arsenal don't want to sell him. And Arteta's saying things like, you know, it's tactics, it's the system, it's the fact that he's going to be playing so many games. I mean, for those of you who don't know, we actually played every single Premier League game with Gabriel last season, I think it was. And it's not uncommon, but it's pretty unheard of for a player to start every single game, the entire season. You have to be a really foundational player for that. So to see him not starting was, well, it was weird. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And it's for the second game in a row now. But when he came on, I think he looks pretty good from the highlights I've seen. Saliba and White were playing instead, and it wasn't a four at the back, as usual. We had Partey stepping into midfield. White was basically right back, centre back. Saliba was right in the middle, starting the play from the back for us, and he was incredible. Saliba is just 22. Can we just take a moment and just remember, we have arguably, is he the best defender in the Premier League on his day? That is up for debate. I still think, Van Dijk, Diaz, right up there as some of the best defenders in the world on their day. But Saliba, when you take into account his age and that potential he's got, it's frightening. He's just 22 and he's up there for sure. He's only going to get better as well, which is what really freaks me out. I'm so glad that we let him go out on loan, but we didn't sell him. We've let him do his thing. He's come back, and now we're seeing the very best Saliba. But I thought Ben White was incredible as well. Really, really good from what I saw. Partey at right back, obviously he would slot into that right back position at times throughout the game, but most of the time he was kind of hovering in this midfield position with Declan Rice there, and Ødegaard was occupying space. Havertz could get forward, and it's a very free-flowing system. It's effectively a 3-2-5, I would argue. It's going to take a bit of time to get used to that, especially without Timber now, that he's going to be out for a while. But I think we should talk about Tomiyasu. It's tricky because Tomiyasu, I really like him, and there's no doubt about it that he's a valued member of the squad. The fact that he can play in so many positions, I don't think Arteta is going to rely on him like he does Zinchenko, Ben White, and even Timber since he joined. I don't think Tomiyasu is going to be ahead of those guys unless injuries, suspensions occur. Tomiyasu got sent off in one of the most ridiculous ways. Okay, so the first yellow card, you can kind of justify it. It was time wasting. We had a few players attempt to take a throw in and then just pass it on to the next player. And in the end, Tomiyasu held the ball for, I think it was 8 seconds, which was deemed too long by the referee. It's soft, okay? There were many occasions, I've seen the evidence where other players, even Crystal Palace players, held the ball for longer. when taking a throw and didn't receive a yellow card. I think the ref, what's his name, David Coote or something, he's an absolute idiot. He just got frustrated. So do you know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It was a little bit time-wasty. Even watching the highlights back, and I'm thinking probably could have taken that throw a little bit faster. And I'm not a fan of time-wasting. So I get it. In the 95th minute, you're 1-0 up and struggling. Fine. But at that point in the game, no. And I'm not saying it was time-wasting, but for sure we were slow. Fine. Yellow card. But the foul that was given, Ayew isn't exactly a small player. I don't know if it will have his height here. I want to say he's at least, 5'10", something like that. He's not small. He's pretty strong. And he's gone down from the slightest touch, and Tomiyasu's got a second booking there. And I think because it's 2 yellows, we can't appeal it. There's no way to appeal this, which, if this was a straight red situation, then we would obviously appeal it. But we are going to be without Tomiyasu in the next game, which is Fulham, right? So that's a little bit frustrating. It was a very, very soft yellow card, both occasions. I didn't see Havertz's yellow card, just realised. But I made a couple of other notes. Let me just bring those up. So, Zinchenko coming on was really nice to see. I've really missed Zinchenko. I'm hoping it's not going to be a normality that Zinchenko is out injured, but it does feel like it. It's the same with Jesus now. I'm just starting to think, God, are these guys just going to be out all the time? But I was really, really pleased to see Zinchenko in training pictures before the game started. For those of you who don't know, I've been in Sweden for 4 or 5 days and had a great time. But obviously, I'm on my phone. I'm reading the news. And just to see those pictures of Zinchenko, just relaxed. He's back. And I thought he did pretty well when he came on, actually. He calmed things down a little bit. But honestly, Jorginho came on with 10 minutes plus injury time to spare. And wow, I was impressed with Jorginho from the highlights I've seen. I wouldn't have enjoyed this time here where we were just completely under pressure, down to 10 men. But we held on. Dirty wins, difficult wins, whatever. It's just a win, okay? We just got the win, and it was a bit of a dirty, I guess a bit of a scraped victory when you consider the momentum at the end, but Jorginho really helped. I love that about Jorginho. He wasn't smashing it out. He wasn't trying to waste time. He just kept the ball, simple passes, and that really helped. Can we talk about Nketiah, by the way? Because I think Nketiah, it's so difficult because I don't want to say he's not good enough, he can't play for Arsenal. But the thing is, right, the guy is 24, I believe. He's 24 now. Yep. He should be further ahead, I think, in his development. Technically, you could argue maybe his development has been a little bit slower than most because he's been either loaned out or he's stayed at the club and not played enough. And there is, for sure, potential there. But he's not exactly one of the youngest players anymore. And I do often think, imagine this team if there was a Tone in there or Osimhen or just a bit more of a traditional number 9. I don't know. I feel bad for saying it, but I just look at the Arsenal squad in general now, the strength we've got in every position, and it's just Nketiah. I don't know. Missed a couple of really good chances in the first half. I mean, the highlights in the first half were Arsenal dominating, good movement, good play, Nketiah chances. And the one where he hit the post, yeah, okay, it was close. Unlucky, right? It's one of those things. But when he's played through by Declan Rice in this position here, and he's tried to lob the keeper up. Probably wouldn't have done that myself, but it's very easy to judge when you're watching on the TV. Maybe he just felt like that was the right thing to do. Saka looked good. A few moments where I'm still so surprised at his strength. He's so strong. And Martinelli, honestly, didn't look great from what I saw, but highlights don't often give the best impressions sometimes. And I didn't see much of Ramsdale. There was one moment where he was scrambling out of his net, like around this position here, and then I think it's one of their left-footed defenders smashed it over the bar, and I thought, ooh, maybe Aaron should have stayed back a little bit there. I think it was it. Let's see. Okay, so it's probably Mitchell. Yeah. It could have gone into the roof of the net, and we would have all been saying, what is Aaron doing there? When's Raya going to start? It's just crazy. We've got Raya as well now. I didn't see much of Kivior. It just wasn't part of the highlights I watched. But, Zinchenko getting the last portion of the game, I was really impressed with what he did. Statistically, of course, we did dominate the first half, but less so in the second half because of the red card. But we had a much better time in front of goal. We could have won the game comfortably from the first half. It doesn't always work out like that. But you know what? It's a really important point to make that, you don't win every game comfortably. And sometimes getting those scrappy, dirty 1-0 wins, as I mentioned, is what you kind of need to do. And that's exactly what we were able to do today. I did tweet out when I landed last night, how's the game? And here's some of your responses 14, 15 hours ago. Almost fell asleep. Lucky tonight. I don't know if it looked lucky, if I'm honest. I just think we were the better team overall. And then going down to 10 men, we just had to scrap it out. We did what champions do. Backs to the wall. Havertz as a sole attacking outlet for 10 minutes. Yeah, I thought Havertz seemed to hold up the ball pretty well. And I think Havertz did better than what I'm hearing, at least from what I've seen. I think in general, most people were just agreeing that very, very silly red card to give out. Very unfair. But not the best performance, still a win. That kind of response. So as always, please do follow me on Twitter. I do tweet out every single game. Normally, it is your review of the game in hashtag Operation Arsenal form, but this was obviously a little bit different. Do you know what? I booked these flights thinking, yeah, we won't play on the Monday. The season's just began. We'll be on a Saturday or a Sunday. Of course, the exact time I'm flying at 7:30 Swedish time. Like, of course, it just had to happen. A few things to update you guys on that I've seen today. Balogun to Chelsea. Apparently they are looking. Tottenham also interested. Inter, I believe, have cooled their interest. Monaco are still there. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hearing he's not even training with the first team at the moment whilst they try and find him a move. And I feel like this could become a bit more of a personal attitude issue because he clearly doesn't want to fight for his position. And Nketiah, in a game like that yesterday, Balogun would be watching saying, well, after my season last year, why aren't I standing in that position and having those chances? I would have buried them maybe. So it's a tricky situation for both parties. I actually think Balogun should go. I think if we can get that £50 million, then I would take it. But anything less, and I'm starting to think, do you know what? There's a reason all of these top clubs want him. He's statistically going to be a very good player and has a great potential. So it's something to look out for. I wouldn't say I'd keep him ahead of Nketiah, but for sure, one of them would be enough. And I feel like that's where the battle should be between Nketiah and Balogun. And Balogun's a lot younger. He's got, I think, a little bit of a higher ceiling. But I don't really like some of the Instagram posts he's putting out. I know for a fact Arteta will hate that. He doesn't want players with attitude. He wants people that are there to fight and play for the club. And I don't think Balogun is going to be on his Christmas card list, that's for sure. But also, we got to talk about Pepe. I wanted to talk about this because I'm of the opinion that we might as well keep him at this point. Apparently there's been multiple offers from Saudi. Besiktas was the latest offer that was accepted but denied by Pepe himself. He doesn't want to go. Look, the facts are he's on a pretty big wage. He moved for big money. It was Emery's signing. And statistically, didn't do too bad. He didn't wow everyone. He didn't blow everyone away. And for the £72 million we paid, everyone was expecting a little bit more. But if you look at his stats and compare him to other players that have kind of been thrown into a team like Antony for big money, and Mudryk, and these players do take a bit of time. And Pepe's stats were very good. And I'm just thinking now, just use him. We clearly do need backup to Bukayo Saka. And I don't see why Pepe couldn't at least be given one more year. And if not, just let him go. Because there are reports that we could let him terminate his contract and just get him off the wages. Maybe that's going to happen. But I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. Pepe, Balogun, what should we be doing with that? It's a lot of money that we can save, technically, and make. And we can put into a Kudus signing or just someone else that's going to help Saka, because clearly that is a position we need to strengthen him. But up next, we've got Fulham. I'm hoping to be streaming for that one. We'll do a live watch along. I think that one's on Saturday. In fact, let me go ahead and check. We will go up here to Arsenal fixtures. So Fulham is on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Maybe tricky to do a watch long, seeing as that is going to have to be a totally legal stream. But that's a big game. Another win there would mean maximum points again. Remember, there's only 3 teams at the moment that have got 6 points from 2 games. Brighton, City, and us. So it's a really good start. Hopefully we can continue that and then beat Manchester United. And before you know it, I mean, we're looking at going to Everton, which is not an easy stadium to go to. We often lose there, but we could be 5 for 5. So that's what we've got to be aiming for. Thank you for the patience with my uploads recently. I know they haven't been the best videos. I was in a rush last week to get those done, to get to Sweden on time and not miss my flight and whatever. But yeah, we're gonna do some better content, more football related stuff, and I will see you in the next video.